Yo, what's good, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between? Welcome to this episode of Everything Bagel. First off, if you follow my Twitter, man, I'm really sorry. Like, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. I know I've like gone overboard with this whole Kendrick Lamar Drake beef thing, man, and I understand that nonstop. Anytime anything drops, like oh shit, I hit that retweet. I was liking it. I was all in there, man. Twitter fingers, my thumbs are sore from all the retweeting I was doing. So yeah, if you follow me, and if you don't, maybe you should, please. Anyways, but I am sorry that I was so sucked into this beef. Look, my introduction to hip hop, my introduction into rap came in the mid 90s, you know, in that Tupac West Coast, East Coast era, the real motherfucking G's, the Drake Death Row, Eazy-E, like that's the hip hop that I kind of that was my introduction to hip hop. That was the hip hop I grew up in, you know. And then in the 2000s, that matured into like the G Unit versus the World phase. And then the Game, 600 bars running, 300 bars running, Eminem just blasting everybody. You know, I love a good old rap beef. I friggin' watched every single beef DVD. I don't know if you guys knew this, but back in like the early 2000s, there was so much rap beef that they created this. I guess this was pre-YouTube, but they created a DVD collection, just highlighting and following the beefs and explaining all this shit. I was so deep into this stuff, man. It was insane. I had a Death Row chain that was cost me $20. It was made out of plastic, man. It was gold plated plastic. Just because I was like, yo, I gotta rep for my side out here in the suburbs of Toronto. That's just how deep I was into it. And it's been a while now since we've had a genuine good old beef like that. Like I can't remember a beef before this that was really caught my attention. Maybe like what, Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly. Does that even count for anything? And Drake's usually at the heart of these beefs, right? Like Drake Meek Mill was an awesome beef. Drake friggin' slaughtered Meek Mill. Pusha T Drake on the other side of that got slaughtered himself. And now we have this one, man. Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, even though J. Cole being one of my favorites out of the three, said, hey, I ain't about this life. Peace. I respect that actually, considering where the beef went. But all I'm trying to say and all I'm trying to get at is it's been a minute since I've had a beef this good, and I'm a vegetarian, so it's kind of weird, but stay with me here. I want to say that I think the beef is over. I think that whole drama, the whole squabble, is probably never gonna, you know, they're never gonna go see each other for probably 10 years, dap each other up, unless they drop a single next week. Yeah, so I think the beef is over. Drake released The Heart Part 6. I don't know what the first 5 were. I should go back listen to those, where he basically said, you know, you beat your wife, I'm not a pedophile, fuck this, I'm bored, peace. And he said it a lot more petty, like, he lost, man. He's bound out. He tapped out. He realized that this isn't good for business, and it's not. See, here's the thing about Drake, and I don't think Drake lost, per se. Like, Kendrick, lyrically, musically, entertainmentally, he won on so many things. But what happened here, for me, at least the way I see it, is that Drake was going to lose. Drake went into this beef the underdog. I didn't foresee Drake winning. And when Drake I think he took 13 or 17 days to drop his initial response, the push-ups one, you know, we all thought, we're like, there's no way Drake's gonna fight this guy. There's just no way. And then push-ups was a friggin' dope-ass track. And I was like, oh shit, he's about it. And that was a good track, man. Drop down, give me 50, man. I was like, shit, Drake's in this fight. And for Kendrick to then reply just a few days later with Euphoria, that's when I was like, it wasn't even double entendres. Then we had like quadruple entendre. Like we were friggin' going online, reading every single meaning behind every little line. And it got so friggin' nerdy, which is what I loved about this thing. It was such a nerdy friggin' song, Euphoria, with just dissecting all those lines. And obviously, you know, Kendrick dropped his allegations that Drake has a child and he's a pedophile and he's a coward and he's culture vulturing. He's, you know, a lot of people are like, well, we didn't know any of this stuff before. Someone's like, yeah, he didn't say anything we didn't already know before, so does it count? It counts. Here's how okay, let's break this down. This is how I see the rap beef. As far as who won musically, right? We said Kendrick Lamar. And why did Kendrick win? Because imagine this is a real rap beef where two guys are standing each other like a battle rap scenario, right? Which track after each round got elicited the, oh shit, I can't believe he said that reaction. It's not so much about spreading the truth, which a lot of people are like, well, if Kendrick got baited and was spreading lies, then that doesn't count. I think that's irrelevant, because really what it's about is, are you saying something that's truth adjacent? Are you saying something that is believable? Drake hiding a child is believable. Drake being a pedophile, knock on wood that it's not true, kind of believable based on his track record, his history, things he's said, things he's done in the past. So truth adjacency matters more, right? Could Kendrick beat his wife? I don't know. I hope not. Knock on wood, hoping that's not true. But did Drake saying that elicit more of a oh shit response than Kendrick saying, hey, you're a pedophile, fuck you? And for me, it's obviously the latter, right? Kendrick had that oh shit, I can't believe he said that moment. And then it's also like the mind games behind it. Like Drake drops Family Matters as his reply to 616, right? I'm getting this right? So Kendrick drops his back-to-back. He dropped his Euphoria, then he dropped 616. That title itself, the fact that had everyone looking up all the different dates, amazing. And Drake drops Family Matters, obviously had to be a big record because he's replying to 2 diss tracks now. And in Family Matters, he's still taking jabs at everyone around him, whereas Kendrick's just solely focused on Drake. Family Matters dropped, and I'm like, oh snap, he did it. He did something that made me go, oh shit, right? And he pulled back, and I think with what Drake did was he didn't put too many hidden meanings or hidden messages in the lyrics as much as he put them in the visuals of the music video. That was cool. But then right after that, the fact that Kendrick, literally less than an hour, people aren't done celebrating or aren't done absorbing Family Matters, he drops the grams, and all of a sudden you're like, dude, because that album was so friggin' dark, but that was one of those no shit. Like he wrote letters to every single one of Drake's family members. He wrote to Adonis, which to open up like that, insane. His father telling his father, you're a piece of shit, you raised a piece of shit. To his mom saying, yo, your son's abusing women, you shouldn't be down with this. To his mystery daughter saying, hey, so the way that track just kind of like hit, it was one of those moments where you're like, what can Drake really say to respond to this? And obviously when Drake dropped The Heart Part 6, you're just like, yeah, he can't respond. Drake pretty much accepted defeat, saying, hey, I'm out. And I know Drake fans might weigh it the other way, but that's how I saw it. You have 2 battle rappers, you put all this stuff, like imagine these guys standing, you're in the audience, how do you react? For me, that fight, that went to Kendrick just because of the big moments. Kendrick stole the big moments from Drake and had bigger moments himself. When Not Like Us dropped, I was like, shit, you can't, that's going to be haunting Drake all summer. They're going to be playing that shit at Caravana, right? You can't escape that track this summer. So by that very metric, Kendrick won. Where Drake won is no one expected him to win. And I think him coming out and trying to fight him sometimes, you don't got to be the favorite. But if you can stand toe-to-toe with someone you're not supposed to be able to stand toe-to-toe with, and maybe you don't go the full distance, maybe you don't get that hard knockout victory, or maybe you don't make them slip up. But the fact that you have hope, or people give you hope, it's like, this is a really bad example, but it's Floyd Conor McGregor, right? Floyd had Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor had no business in that ring. But for every round that Conor stayed on his feet and kept going, and every punch Conor then kind of landed, even if it was just a slip or just kind of hit him, you're just like, you left that fight with more respect for Conor than you may have had before. So that's where I kind of see this fight, and where I saw this battle was, yeah, Drake got his ass kicked, but I respect him a little bit more for lasting as long as he did, for doing it the way he did a little bit more. Do I buy all his shit? None. Do I buy all Kendrick shit? No. But I do respect him a little bit more for being able to go this long in it. And like I said, man, Push-Ups was a freaking great ass track. Push-Ups is probably another track that I listen to a few times more, after this whole thing's done, because it was a well done track. Can't go get along with it. Not Like Us, Push-Ups, those are 2 tracks that are gonna stand up. The Grams, I'll probably be in a really dark place if I'm listening to that, I'm not gonna lie, but Grams is evil. Family Matters, that track I just think is skippable. It was a good track, but the fact that it's followed up by the Grams makes it skippable in many ways. Here's the thing about Drake, though, and the whole thing that I've actually seen someone else comment on, is Drake is bigger than Drake, if that makes sense. Drake isn't just Drake, Aubrey Graham. Drake is this media empire. He's Universal Studios or Universal Music's number one or number two guy, right? They're not gonna let him lose. He can't lose because there's so much outside money invested in him. His partnerships with like Nike, NBA, NHL, all these things are tied to him. So when Kendrick's calling him a pedophile, true or not true, that's not something those partners want affiliated with them. You can't be working with Harvey Weinstein no more. You can't be working with the Epsteins, the P. Diddy's, the Bill Cosby's. These are such toxic names with such toxic traits that, true or not true, it's bad business. And the amount of bad business or the amount of money tied into Drake as like a brand, as the OVO brand and all that kind of stuff, unless you can like really, really shake this thing off like that and change the narrative, which it appeared after Like Us, Drake wasn't going to be able to do, there was no going back. There was no, the only option here is if you don't have that knockout punch, you better just throw in the towel and get this fight over with so we can work on that new PR angle and like get people talking about something else, because we don't want them stick calling you a pedophile while you're representing these companies. That's how I think if I wasn't one of those brands. So I'm sure those calls started coming into Drake's office and management team and PR team. And you know who else won? YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Because TikTok maybe to some degree also. Every reaction video going up on YouTube, these guys releasing their videos onto YouTube before they made their way onto Spotify or Apple Music because of whatever delays those have. But the fact that if you want to drop something quick, you got to drop it on YouTube first, and then you amplify it via your Instagrams or your Twitters to make it official. Like, that's okay, this account is officially you. Like, the power and the amount of views and traffic that these tracks generated for those sites is insane. And not even just for them. All the React content, all the podcasts, all the analysts, everyone could just buzzing about it. This thing surpassed like Venn diagram circle, algo circles. Like my gaming circles were talking about this, anime circles were talking about this, sports circles were talking about this. Like everyone and everyone and anyone who listens to hip hop or is just within any of these like subgenres were talking about this. This was that big of a deal. And everyone's taking sides. Hassan and Ludwig are friggin' debating this thing on their friggin' profiles and their streams. The Dodgers and stuff are making references to this stuff. Like, this was a culturally big moment. And that's like just where hip hop has gone these days, where it's that big. So these sites and the amount of traffic generated, great for these apps, great for content creators like Joe Budden's podcast, Academic Streams, Flip's friggin' channel. These were probably buzzing off. Rob Markman's numbers were probably going insane. He's someone I've been watching for his analysis on things. Every Twitter and TikTok sleuth was like uncovering every single date, every single line, crossing it out, showing you what else it could mean. I was so into that nerdy shit, man. The React guys it was insane, man. Those guys won too. I think as a whole, everybody wins this thing. It ended the way we expected it to end, but I personally go out respecting Drake a little bit more because he was able to stand up and stand toe to toe for longer than I thought he would. Good or bad, I know he got knocked out. Like, I know he got tapped out. I know he lasted it, and between Kendrick and Drake, I respect Drake a little bit more from this. And Kendrick, obviously, he's gonna use this to continue to cement his legacy. So I just think that's that. And honestly, when people say, "Hey, but what if it's proven that he doesn't have a daughter, or that Drake doesn't, there's nothing bad happening behind the scenes," irrelevant. Truth adjacency and what you can sell to people as the truth matters more in this case, because it's just like politics, right? Once you just gotta convince people that the other thing could be true, not that it is true. And Kendrick, I think, did a better job of convincing people of that than Drake did with the your wife left you, that's not your kid, you beat your wife. That, like, those insults just didn't stick, or they just weren't delivered in a way that the allegations that Kendrick made. So again, good or bad, whatever. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say on that one, man. Y'all take it easy. Let me know in the comments below. Also, before I say peace, please drop a like, drop a sub if you're into this kind of stuff. Till the next one though, peace.